So I guess we can start off by going to profile, so in the bottom left here, and then you can change your avatar and avatar frame if you click right above your name, so here, and this is pretty straightforward. And then if you're wondering where the inventory is in this game, it's in item on the right over here. So if you click item, you can find all your materials and all that stuff. And then also make sure to share every week, so you get like the 30 free diamonds. I mean, that's better than nothing, right? So share is up here, and make sure to do that every week. And then if we go to shop, so obviously these packs are like what you spend real money on, and then make sure to claim the daily free pack, which should be here. There's like a red notification. The VIP, which is the monthly pass, if you're going to spend anything on the game, I would suggest spending it on this. It's the most bang for your buck. And in redeem here, I would highly recommend everyone to buy the 2 weekly Feather of Dreams, because these are the like required materials you need to level up your card's skills past a certain point. I think at level 6 and level 10, I think. And there are very few consistent ways you can get these, so make sure to buy these here. And then if you bought the VIP monthly pass, make sure to also pick up the premium paint box every week. This is the discounted 10 pull. And then in Pictura, however you want to say it, I personally don't think it's worth it to buy the Dove vouchers using diamonds. Yeah, I just don't think, because you can get like free pulls if you grind every week using the in-game currency, so I wouldn't recommend buying it with diamonds. In creation, I guess the only thing like worthy to note here is probably the enlightenment ×5, but you can only get this if you dissemble an SSR, which is like obviously very highly advised against, especially in the early game when you don't have that many. This is like kind of, I guess, for, you know, whales or like heavy spenders, like even in, you know, mid-late to late game, so I wouldn't advise doing that. Friendship shop here, there's nothing to say about that. So in gallery, which is the gacha, the pity is at 80, so you're guaranteed an SSR at 80 pulls. If you're pulling on a rate up banner, there is a chance you lose the 50-50, but the next SSR will be the rate up, or like the SSR you chose. Here, like on the left of the sketch reward, there was, I already used it, but there was like a wishing pool where you say like which SSR or which card you want rated up. So there's that. And there's like more details about the gacha system and rates and stuff here, which I'm not going to go through. I guess this is kind of too detailed, but for the standard banner, I would personally not suggest pulling on it past the 20 beginner pulls. Yeah, I would say past the 20 beginner pulls, I would not suggest pulling on the standard banner. And then for the Pictura, I'll give recommendations or talk more about it later on. Actually right now, I guess, but if you go in Codex, if we talk about the Illustras first, I would advise focusing on raising one card, preferably your SSR, to the max level before moving on to the next one, or like at least a decently high level before moving on to the next one. And this is because the level of the assist that you can borrow is limited by your highest level Illustra. So for example, my highest level is 79 right now, and that means that in battle, the highest level assist card that I can borrow is level 79. So you want to make sure that you max one card out, like one at a time, so that you can borrow high level assists. And also the reason why I say you should focus on raising your SSR is because the max level for an SSR is 100, but the max level for an SR is 90, I think. 90 or 95, but I think 90. So if you raise your SR to the max level, you still won't be able to use level 100 assists. So, you know, keep that in mind. I guess I'll use this as an example, but the skills, I mean, they vary by card, so I won't go in depth about it here. For the ultimate, you raise the level by either copies of the same card or enlightenment. So 20 equals 1 copy. These are very, very rare resources, so make sure you use them very cautiously. Yeah, so make sure you don't spend those very liberally. And then if you go to Reminiscence here, this is where you equip the Picturas. My recommendation and the general consensus in the CN community is that for the top slot, which is your main effect Pictura, you want to only focus on using ones that increase the initial ultimate charge. So if you look at effect down here, that's what it says. And this is because this means you'll be able to use your ultimate more quickly, and then if you can get that the ultimate off more quickly in the first round, then you have, you know, faster rotations overall. So that's why you want to use the ultimate charge increase ones. And I would also advise not leveling up the bottom Pictura because you only get 20% of the attributes on this card. So if you see here, it says attribute times 20%. So leveling it up, I guess during early game, spends a lot of resources for a very little return. So I would only consider leveling this up like at the minimum, like mid to late game, kind of. And for the resonance, it's preferred later on to use full sets. I know there are, like, I guess, actually that's kind of a spoiler, okay, but it's preferred later on to use full sets, but right now you kind of make do with what you have, I guess. But yeah, ultimately you do want to use full sets. And in formation here, a small tip is like you can drag the assist slot. So I think originally it was here, but you can drag it earlier on so that the assist you borrowed, which should be like a strong card, I guess, can be deployed like earlier on in battle. And then I guess we should talk about stamina. So stamina for the main story, you can go at your own pace. So I won't really talk about that, but outside of the main story or however, your progression is, it's best to only use your stamina on event farming. So right now it's Halloween, the Halloween event. So you only use your stamina like farming for the event, because generally it's the event shop is a good deal to clear out, and it's much more worth your stamina to spend it here than in like regular dailies or something. But outside of the event, if there's no event going on, you spend it mostly in practice, in Aurora Theater, like the experience farming, because these, like, I'm sure like for those of you who have leveled up cards so far, you've realized like how much of this experience farming you have to do to actually level up a card, especially later, like at higher levels. So this is like the best way to use your stamina outside of events. And for art supplies and dreams, which is your ascension and skill material, I would not spend stamina on these materials like past, I guess, the first clear, because they don't guarantee the higher level drops until your difficulty 4, like until your max difficulty. Because right here for difficulty 3, this is by chance, right? This is drop by chance. It's kind of a waste of stamina because you can't like merge, mid-tier materials. So yeah, and also the majority of the time, like these materials that you get from the events are generally enough to support you. So yeah, but mostly experience farming, and then skill and ascension material farming as needed. And I would also hold off on Pictura upgrades or farming until you've sufficiently built your Illustras, because these also take a lot of resources. So I would say you get more out of leveling up your Illustras, then you can go on and upgrade your Picturas. And also make sure to do your weekly Pictura memories here. And then in Academy here on the left, for sketching, okay, so I already used it, but okay, I'll just use this again. For sketching here, I'll just, randomly choose something. So you can do collect all here, and you don't have to go on and, try to find the bubbles. I would recommend focusing on your main DPS cards category first. So like one at a time. So for example, my Halloween SSR is emotion, so I would just max out on emotion first. And then like one at a time, I'll go back and increase the other ones. And then here, the only way you get a rating of S is if you connect 3 out of the 4, and these 3 should be related or relevant to the theme. So this is Mermaid Story. So obviously this, and I guess Mermaid is this one. So, and then this, so this is rating S. You get rating A if you connect all 4, and then B if you connect like, I think 3, but there's like 1 that's wrong or something. And here, the only way that I always try to choose the important NPCs and not the male leads, because it's easy to raise the heart meter for the male leads by giving gifts, but this is like basically one of the only few ways you can increase your NPC friendship levels. And the important ones will give you, I think, certain achievements and gifts and like rewards. So here I would choose Dominic instead of Lars and Ein. So gift here. Right, and then you can check your NPCs in reputation in the top right here. The important ones I'll list out. I won't like read them out loud right now. Yeah, so I do that also for, okay, I also do that for itinerary and date. I choose the NPCs, the important NPCs. And then I know some people were wondering where to find the puppet outfit stuff. So you go to puppet here, fitting room. This is like where you bought or where you can find the outfits. And also if you want to change the puppet shown on the main screen, you can press the double arrow down here, right, double arrow here, and change here, and the male leads depending on who you want. And then lastly, I guess a reminder to make sure to claim the 2 free stamina refills by clicking on the cat like at certain times of the day.